Morphology in language acquisition. Though we have talked a lot about language acquisition, children typically begin at their first to say their first words between 12 and 18 months. They produce syntactic morphological modulation of those words within their first year of talking. Right? They use word not as a unit of morphology, but as also a part of syntax, because through single words they also convey the grammar of their words. As they move to more complex expression of their meaning, they add grammatical morphemes, add prefix, suffix, case, etc. Right? Preposition, postposition, and clitics. So they keep on adding all these grammatical or syntactic features to their morphologies, to their words. On noun, for example, they start to add morphemes to mark such distinction as gender, right? Number, case, verb. They add markers for aspect, tense. Aspect mean perfective and progressive. Either they add ing or they add ed. Gender, masculine and feminine. Number, singular, plural, and person. First person, second person, third person. So within a particular language, children's mastery of such paradigms may take several years. There are three reasons for this. Some meaning distinction appears to be more complex conceptually than others, and so take longer to learn. Some paradigms are less regular than others, and they too take longer to learn. For example, we have discussed that many children, while they are learning their language, instead of using such irregular forms of the verb eat, at, eaten, they use the regular forms eat, eated, and many other nouns as they use in the similar way. See, language topology may affect the process of morphological acquisition. Suffixes, for instance, are acquired more readily than prefixes. So this is how a child learns, and there is always an order or a hierarchy through which they learn these things. In order to acquire noun and verbs and their morphology, children must first analyze the structure of the words heard as input, identify stems and affixes, and then with the passage of time they start combining suffix stems with the suffixes, and with the passage of time they learn that how they can fix those suffixes with other stems. So they start making combination. This process of analyzing form and assigning meaning is a prerequisite for the acquisition of inflectional morpheme, in which they add different affixes to change the grammar of the words. It is also a prerequisite in the acquisition of word formation, that how they can form new words. Children begin to use some word formation processes at around the same time as their first inflections. They produce novel compound forms from simple stem verb combination, and we have cited many examples in this regard. We showed that how they use different combination to give their knowledge of inflectional morphology as well as their derivational morphology. Next, during their second year of speech, as some inflectional paradigms become established, they can now make forms, use verb into present, into tense, play, played, playing, played, etc. They also begin to produce a few derivational affixes. They know that these are derivational affixes. They can change the parts of speech, right, which emerge in greater number between ages 3 and 4 in both derived and compound innovations. So this is generally the way, with the help of morphology or their morphological knowledge, how children acquire their language, at what age they start using morphology, and how they start using morphology in a way in which it also uses syntax too. So this is the sort of morphosyntax knowledge that children acquire while learning their first language.